Warning, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. Hey, it's Soman, and this is a special Miami edition of EverNever TV. I'm chilling in my house in Miami, in my parents' house, to be fair, but they're never around really. So I feel like it's my house. When I come down here, I'll come down here for a week or two at a time in the winter, and I just hide away here, and it's where I get my best work done. And really some of the best chapters in the School for Good and Evil series, I think, were written here. I'm trying to remember what was written here in the last book. Chapters 11 and 12 for sure. The first chapter that introduced Nicola. Book 1 I remember very vividly, writing chapters 1, 2 on the Circus of Talents chapter here in Miami. A lot of sort of the chapters that had the most sort of emotional intensity I save for when I'm down here and really enjoy sort of digging in where it's super quiet and no one bothers me at all. We've had a crazy few weeks because I've been running around on the road, and now that that's kind of over, I can really focus on book 5. I've been working on it very steadily since August. It's been going great, and here's where the spoiler is going to start that I warned you about, because I wanted to talk a little bit about book 5 because I haven't been able to talk about it at all because I've been waiting for everyone to read book 4. But I finally sort of realized that I can't just wait indefinitely for everyone to read it and then talk about book 5, because I feel like there will never be a good time. So we're going to start now. I'm going to talk to those of you who've read book 4 and tell you what I'm thinking about for the next book. Book 5 is different than books 1 through 4. Book 4 is of course different than 1 through 3 because it's more grown up. For those of you who've read it, there's the different structure obviously of different characters' point of view, but everyone feels a lot more grown up, right? We're no longer in the safety of the school. Characters are dying if they make the wrong mistakes, and you get the feeling that no one's quite safe. So what do we know now going into book 5? We know that Rian is not necessarily a good guy. We're pretty sure he's a bad guy, right? He's, you know, sort of hijacked Sophie to be his queen. We know that Agatha is on the run. Tedros is in the dungeons with the rest of the crew. We know that Merlin and Professor Dovey, who are usually Sophie and Agatha's most reliable partners to get them out of trouble, are no longer have that capability, or so we think. And yet, there's so many loose ends, right? I remember getting a lot of emails from people being like, is that the end of the series? And I thought, my God, to go through all that work, tie everything up and get them out of the school with their stories sort of complete, and then to write book 4 and open everything back up and then end would be sort of author malpractice. But no, I obviously have 2 more books to go, and the goal is that 4, 5, and 6 will seem a whole lot bigger in the end than 1, 2, 3, so that you'll get sort of that Harry Potter vibe of when you look at 1 through 6 together, you'll see a slow sort of opening up of the world and realize how massive this universe was from the very beginning, and you didn't quite know it. As I write book 5, there are a lot of questions that are coming up. How is Agatha going to deal with the fact that she has no one to help her, right? She's completely on her own. How are you going to deal with the fact that Tedros is now in the dungeons, and as a result of all the bad decisions he's made, he's realized he's put everyone at risk? And so this question of what do you do when everybody has no control anymore, right? And Agatha is the only one who can actually make any moves, and yet she has no one to turn to, nowhere to go. You know, that's where the book begins. And I think one of the things that I love doing, and this will give you a little bit of a hint as to what book 5 is ultimately about, is to put characters in a situation where things are impossible, where they can't get out of a given situation because of everything that's stacked against them, right? And so there's no way for you to predict what's going to happen, because I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea, you know, what Agatha's next move is until I start writing, right? And so once I started chapter 1, I was like, well, what would I do if I was Agatha? Well, I could try this, right? And try this, and maybe this doesn't work, and then maybe try this. Meanwhile, you know, whoever's in the dungeon is trying something else. And so it's this idea that everyone is working on their own separate plan. Book 5 is different than books 1 through 4, as I said before, because I'm going to experiment with some things. This is the first time where everyone is in separate places. In book 4, in book 3, everyone was kind of together, right? They were sort of like, you know, on the same quest. They were sort of part of the same crew after the same goal. We've got everyone in different places now. And so that allows me to play with a lot of little intriguing pieces of magic and you're going to see what they are. What else can I tell you spoiler-wise? We're going to do a more detailed spoiler game in the weeks to come. But I can tell you that some characters that you think are dead won't necessarily come back to life, but they will matter, especially characters who died in the last book, because people's stories, even after death, continue. So keep your eye on those who have recently departed. So maybe I'll stop there. I'm gonna get back to writing. You guys are gonna go shopping, and you're gonna tell me in the comments whether you bought anything good that I should get for myself. Have a great Black Friday, a great rest of your holiday, and I'll see you guys next week with Joanne and Ramon. Bye.